Hello people. In today's video, I want to talk about Facility Lockdown, one of my childhood games and probably one of the best games about SCP on Roblox of all time. So, what is this game about? It's another asymmetrical game that has been released a very long time ago. It has been released in 2018. I played this game since 2019 on all account. This was my go-to to pass time. It was an amazing game. It had amazing replayability. I loved it. It was honestly just one of the most incredible games of all time. And now it's pretty dead. The main reason behind its death is pretty simple. The owner of the game got terminated, and unfortunately, he did not have an account. He didn't have an account for the group, so now his account is banned. However, the game stays completely up, and by that I mean only Facility Lockdown 1. The sequel, Facility Lockdown 2, is broken. Not to the point where it's broken completely. It's only broken to the point where the game cannot spawn some SCPs, which is honestly pretty game breaking. Now, what is there to go over? Let's start with the gameplay. So, you can be assigned a random team at spawn, right? You can be assigned either Scientist or Class D. Pretty simple, right? The gameplay loop consists of the escape classes being Scientist and Class D, trying to escape from the facility, while the anomalies or the SCPs try to hunt them down. There are many playable SCPs in this game, such as the Headlights, with many voices, 939, 049 the Flight Doctor, 173 the Sculpture, 106 the Old Man, SCP-3199 Humans Refuted, the Burning Man, Shy Guy, Abel, the Flash That Hates, and the... Okay, it's not really a playable SCP, let's just say, but it is, you can put an instance of it, being the Red Pool. And as well as many other SCP games such as Retro Reach, which I mentioned earlier, it goes with a round basis, right? There'll be spawn waves of reinforcements, either Mobile Task Force or Chaos Insurgency. Their goal is to recontain SCPs or help them, unofficially of course. And that second goal only applies to Chaos Insurgency, as they're neutral with every other class. If there's only SCPs and Chaos Insurgency standing, that means the game will end, because SCPs and Chaos Insurgency are actually neutral to each other. Which means that the Chaos Insurgency can actually team with the SCPs, which can get pretty annoying for the Mobile Task Force and any other Foundation group. Of course, not only mentioning the escape classes, there's also guards. But they kind of don't matter. They spawn in and then they just die in heavy containment to the SCPs. They're kind of like the punching bags. If you manage to survive, then good job. Also, a little secret: if 3199 spawns, and there will be a little chance that instead of guards, there'll be a rapid response team instead, which are like upgraded guards essentially. They will have access to the cryogenic weapons in 3199 storage, and those cryogenic weapons can actually destroy the eggs that 3199 makes, right? It's pretty neat actually. I kind of like that. There are many things to account for here. Mobile Task Force isn't just sent out to kill the SCPs, it's sent out to recontain them. There are many task force within the game, such as Epsilon 11, U7, Tau 1, Epsilon 9, Psi 8, Beta 7, Zeta 9, and Mu 4, Alpha 1, Tau 5, Eta 10, which is cut, and Area 354, which is the Red Pool MTF. All the mobile task forces except for Epsilon 11 have a different weaponry containing SCPs. For example, Epsilon 11 it doesn't exactly have a containment method for any of the SCPs. They only spawn with restraints, which helps them deal with the Class D personnel. Hammer Down spawns that if 939 or Able is alive. All their ranks are equipped with protective vests that boost their damage reduction, because they're supposed to take a lot of damage, right? Then we have specialized units. Remember, specialized units cannot come before the general MTF units, being Epsilon 11 and U7, because in law it states after initial reports from the MTF squads, which is Epsilon 9, which is Epsilon 11 and U7, we can easily confirm that we can get approval to send in more special boys into the facility. Special boys being the specialized MTF units, such as Tau 1, the Big Brother. Spawns if SCP-096 is still alive. They have a bag in the inventory which they can put over the head of 096, which basically neutralizes them. They'll spawn with scramble goggles, which encrypt their vision of the face of 096, but there's a chance that it could fail and it could trigger them anyway. Epsilon 9 Fire Eaters spawns only if 457 is still alive, and one other SCP has been terminated. They're equipped with thermal heat suits, which is their suits, but they're a bit more upgraded compared to the normal thermal heat suit. They also spawn with fire extinguishers. So silencers spawn under the conditions that SCP-049 and at least 3 of its instances are still alive. They're equipped with heavier firearms, and their commander also has Lavender, which calms down SCP-049, makes him unable to attack other people. Beta 7 only spawns if either SCP-08-1 instances are accounted for, or they spawn if the game mode is Area 610, which is them eliminating the flesh that hates, aka SCP-610. Zeta 9 only spawns under the condition that Omega Warhead, which is the warhead that destroys the entire facility, detonates, and SCP-106 still hasn't been neutralized or recontained. Zeta 9 will always override any other MTF spawn. There's also the removed MTF units, which don't spawn naturally at all, like Move Forward Debuggers. They only spawn only if SCP-079 was still alive, in which all units were equipped with a foundation flash drives in order to neutralize it. I'll talk about SCP-079 a bit later. Edit 10, See No Evil, was formerly spawned in place of Tau 1. They were also actually all equipped with night vision goggles instead of scramble gears. So, yeah. Then there's the admin units, which is the Alpha 1. Only spawns in by commands from the owners, is heavily geared to deal with any threat. Its main purpose would be to help O5 evacuate the facility, which is kind of similar to the Council Rescue game mode. And then we have Tau 5, aka Samsara, which only spawn from the command of the owners, and all the units have 500 HP due to the robotic suits. So all of them have a different way of actually dealing with SCPs instead of just shooting them dead. You know what I mean? It's actually pretty cool if you think about it. Add some, you get what I'm trying to say. Now, for groups of interest. Groups of interest are spawned only by admins, such as the Chaos Insurgency. Well, they're actually not spawned by admins. As I said earlier, they can spawn normally. They spawn normally. They're technically a group of interest, but they are not spawned by admins. They spawn naturally, right? The admin ones are GRQP, which is the Russian one, right? Then we have the UIU, which is the FBI, essentially. Global Occult Coalition, or GOC, pretty simple. Terminate every SCP on the planet. They're neutral to most classes. Like, but that just means KOS. Serpent's Hand. They help SCPs, and they kill everybody. They're supposed to be neutral, but it's more like I'm gonna kill you anyway. And Of course, this game is very dead, as I mentioned before, but there's still a very dedicated group of people keeping this game alive to this day, which I'm actually a part of. So W to them, and we should, of course, support them as much as we can. I'll, of course, drop a link down to the Discord if you want to join up on the Facility Lockdown Revival, which they're completely making a different game, which should help in a way to help this game, of course, grow. And I hope this game gets a lot better, of course. I haven't mentioned a lot of things in this game because there's so many things to go over, of course. Because this game is essentially extremely big, has a lot of things. Like, in fact, so many fucking things. It's actually insane. There's so many anomalies in this game, right? And of course, I can't really go over all of them. So, which I'll probably do in a separate video about this game, which I'll try my best to do, of course. But there's a lot of them. And as I mentioned before, I did say I was gonna mention 079, which is the old AI, which I haven't actually gone over. He's a very interesting SCP, in fact. He was left in beta because he was supposed to be a playable SCP to everybody. But he was left in beta because the game, of course, got dropped on updates and they pulled the plug on them. But it's pretty fun to play, in fact. But the camera sensitivity on 079 is extremely terrible, I'll tell you what. So, what is so interesting about this? This is essentially just like an SCP-SL. You can operate Tesla gates, you can lock doors, you can, of course, go around the facility using the map, you know how you go like around the map on SCP-SL as well. And you can broadcast. You can't just literally talk in the game itself. You have to like press on the speaker phones, like around the map. That'd be like, oh, actually they're called intercoms or speaker phones, but it's really how you will interpret it. You know what I mean? What's interesting about this game is how to terminate or help SCP-079. There'll be a flash drive laying on the desk next to 079. Go to entrance zone to the electrical center. Activate computer in it using, of course, the button E. That's the interactive button. Plug the flash drive in by simply clicking on one of the two inputs and choose the desired option. After choosing, there will be a loading sequence. You must wait and then unplug the flash drive. Unplug the flash drive only after the sequence has ended. Otherwise, you will do it again. Of course, in the last third, come back to SCP-079's containment chamber. It requires a level 5 keycard, which is the max level. Plug the flash drive into an input on SCP-079, and then the program will execute itself, either shutting down or helping SCP-079. There are 3 programs. There's one called Energy Management, gives more energy than regular, and increases energy capacity to more than 100. There's also Help, not Help, but that's the thing it does. Of course, Energy and Efficiency. Gains energy by 2% more than 3% more. And then there's the Termination. It completely shuts down SCP-079. It's pretty cool. In fact, I love this method of shutting it down. It's pretty cool. Now, this is the most I can do for now because there's a lot of things to go over. The events, there's a lot of stuff, honestly. So, this is it. This is SCP Facility Lockdown. An incredible game that you should try out for yourself while you still can. And of course, as always, it's been a pleasure to make this video for you guys. Thank you for watching. RDB out.